Amethyst has many secrets, and in today's video, we're going to be looking at 9 of them. We're going to start out with the basics, and as the video goes on, they're going to get crazier. So make sure to leave a like on the video as well as subscribe and have that bell hit, as I've been playing the game for 12 years and love to share my secrets with you guys. Amethyst can be found in these geodes underneath of the Minecraft ground. Inside of these, you can find amethyst blocks, the different types of cluster, and the blocks which produce the clusters, which are called budding amethyst. These geodes also have calcite blocks on the outside of them, as well as smooth basalt. All the blocks in the geode can be mined up for their items, except for the budding amethyst, which doesn't drop. Budding amethyst can't be moved, and if you try, it will just break with a piston. So you have to harvest the shards at the geode. But the coolest part of the geode are these amethyst clusters, which can be broken down to get the shards. 4 shards in the crafting table will produce a block of amethyst. The amethyst shards can be crafted with a glass to produce tinted glass. This block has a lot of unique properties. You can easily see through it while it stops all light from entering, making it great for observing dark areas. But despite no light going through, it also doesn't let redstone power go into it, and it doesn't cut off redstone similar to glass. And despite it blocking out skylight, no mobs can actually spawn on top of it. The shards can also be crafted with copper to make a spyglass, which has the cool property of zooming in. Now you can automatically get the shards by having a piston break off the cluster. You can get more shards by using a fortune pick, and it made 3 amazing farms for you to easily farm up the shards as well as all the cluster types. The best time to harvest shards is every 40 minutes. But their coolest properties come when you use a Silk Touch pickaxe to mine them up. They actually drop the clusters as the block form. And you can get all 4 sizes, which can be placed down on any square surface. The cool thing by placing these down, they don't actually continue to grow, so they keep that cool size. When placed on the ground in order, they produce a gradual staircase. If we put them into my world with the longest Minecraft staircase, among other block dimensions and mob dimensions, we will see that it fits in to a few different categories, with the smallest cluster being same as a trapdoor, but the real surprise is the medium cluster, and the medium cluster falls in this category with the 3 layers of snow. But the weirdest one is this one here, which is the large cluster, which is a brand new block size like nothing we've seen before. Being exactly 5 pixels tall, it gets a brand new category for size. The largest size over here, which is the cluster, is the same size as like campfires, sea pickles, lantern, and eggs. Now with these new guys added into our inefficient staircase, it is a total of 18 blocks long, which is crazy long just to walk up a single meter, or 1 block. And if you would use fortune on the biggest size, on average you get 8.8 shards from it. But besides being placed on the ground, they can also be placed on their side, which in itself makes a weird sideways staircase. And if we add these guys to my super long sideways staircase, they come out in a few different locations. Most of those that sit on the ground are the same size of like an egg, except for the smallest size, which is the same as like a thick wall. Each of the sideways variations have their unique size, the largest being a cake with 4 bites, with the large amethyst being slightly smaller with a cake of 5 bites. The medium amethyst is the same as the piston head thickness, and the small amethyst is the same as like a ladder door or trap door, making the new sideways stairs a total of 16 blocks long in order to just move in 1 block. But these guys can also be placed on the ceiling, which is really rare for any other types of blocks in Minecraft. And adding these guys to our upside down staircase, there are some pretty surprising results, with the smallest being like a trapdoor, the medium one being like a piston head, but the large amethyst is a brand new block size, which is a new category right here, which I have a new row for, and only shares this row with the new big drip leaf. And the largest variation is also completely brand new with no other blocks like that before, being a pixel size of 7. And as we move down through this, you can also see that the sideways ones made their way into these columns, with the majority of them being the same size as like a grown cocoa bean, except for the smallest one, which is the same size as like an open piston, making the new upside down stair a length of 15 steps in order to get moved up by 1 block. Besides having so many unique sizes, these clusters also have many more properties, such as they put off their own amount of light. The smallest one puts off 1 light level, where the medium one puts off 2, and the large one puts off a light level of 4, and the largest, known as a cluster, puts off a light level of 5. All of them can be waterlogged by placing water into them, but they're also very strong in that they can hold in liquids. Now you can't place a cactus beside these guys, and if you do place one of these guys beside a cactus, it will break off. And it can even do this automatically. If a cluster would happen to grow right here, it would become invalid and it would pop off this cactus. Just like that. Now these clusters can't be moved, and if you try to, they will just break off. When Amethyst first came out, it was possible to use a command to make it so that they wouldn't produce any light, but this was removed and this lit tag no longer works. If left into the game, that would have been pretty lit. Any falling block falling onto these clusters will pop off as an item, and players falling onto them doesn't do any extra damage. They are picky where they get placed, so if the surface that they're attached to changes, they will break off. The block of Amethyst used to have some strange properties, but now they act like normal blocks, such as you can't open a chest when they're above it. A unique property of the Amethyst blocks is that if you walk on them, they produce a really cool chime. And this also applies to the cluster variations. But this noise is amplified if you throw any projectiles at these, which makes some distinct chimes. Using this command, you can actually change out the item that the player has for its head slot. And by timing the different amethysts switching out in the head, you can make it appear that the amethyst is growing out of your head, starting small and slowly growing to a large one. You can also do a similar thing in survival by putting some amethysts in both of your hands, and then you can start out with the small one and you can slowly switch over to the large one. And doing this can make it appear that you're growing some massive claws on your hand, turning yourself into the Wolverine. This geode that is shown on the homepage is actually containing some secrets in itself. Notice all of these clusters which are growing on it. Some of these are actually growing in areas where there is no budded blocks, like this one right here. What this tells us is that this screenshot here was actually changed where the developers came in here and placed in these clusters before taking this panorama. During the snapshots, the small amethyst was actually so small that when the player would hold it in his hand, the player's hand would completely vanish. You can only really see it if you move your character back and forth, but they later fixed it so the player wouldn't hold it so close. The game only has a 1 in 53 chance to spawn a geode per chunk. That means in a 116 by 116 area, there's only going to be one geode. So finding a double geode like this is extremely rare. 95% of the time, all geodes are cracked open like this one. But very, very rarely, only that small 5% of the chance, will you ever find a completely intact geode that has no crack exposing it to the outside. Check out this playlist for more secrets of Minecraft, and check out this other playlist for crazy glitches that are in the game. Hit that subscribe button as I have more videos like this coming, and leave a like on the video if you learned something. Thanks to Bisect Hosting for hosting our testing server where we discover these things. You can get 25% off your first Minecraft server using the code RAY or the link in the description. Thank you guys for so much support. If you guys didn't know, I also have a Patreon page, and I stream 4 times a week, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, at 2 p.m. Eastern. That's where we discover all these cool tricks. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!